was born in the village of Gorotire. When I was still a young boy, I wanted to see the world. I told my father and mother, I told my brothers and sisters and cousins that when I was old enough, I would leave the village.
And as a young man, he did leave. He went to the edge of the forest in search of work. He saw them mining gold and logging timber, cutting relentlessly into the heart of the Amazon towards his home.
The white man was tearing down the forest, opening up roads, wasting and destroying. My people did not know what was happening here. They did not know what was coming to the village. I stopped working for the white man. I ran from their machines and their gold. It was good to be back on the river. The river is where the Indian lives. The river is the health of the Indian. The river is life for the plants and animals as well as for the Indian. It was good to be back in the village. But my people did not understand the great threat to us and the problem that was coming. I had to tell them, they are cutting down the trees with big machines. They are killing the land and spoiling the river. They are great animals with great problems, great threats to make us afraid. If they kill the forest, we will die. We must leave here.
And that is exactly what they did. They left the village of Gorotiri and moved 40 miles upriver, deeper into the Amazon jungle, farther away from the threat. They created a new village on the riverbank and named it Aokri. The young man who led them here became their chief. They call him Payakan.
Eu fundei essa aldeia porque
we started this village because we needed more space and because we were afraid the white people would invade our land. So we moved here where our life is better. Because this is a place that is very rich in fish and game and good soils, good lands.
Payakan and his tribe set up their lives all over again, finding in nature all that they needed. Payakan sees countless miracles here that are otherwise invisible. Through his eyes, each form of life in the forest has hidden blessings. The Kayapo have lived in this forest for thousands of years. It is their home, an intricate world that only they fully understand. They plant crops to blend with what is there. They preserve as much forest as possible so the trees can protect the soil from the sun and rain. The Kayapo give to nature, and nature gives back. A fishing party carries timbo vines down to the riverbank. They wade into the water and pound on the vines. The pounding releases a chemical that temporarily removes oxygen from the water and stuns the fish. Downstream, the boys are waiting. Even the tiniest fish are collected. Nothing goes to waste. Collecting them becomes a game of target practice. The fishing itself is a celebration of the Kayapo's oneness with the river. Because of Payakan's efforts, the young people are still learning the Kayapo way of life and the secrets of their heritage. They are the next generation in the village. The question for Payakan is, will they be the last? Left alone, the Kayapo would continue to lead a life of abundance here, guided by their belief that all things come from the same energy. They respect all life equally, plant and animal as well as human. They know it is the plants and animals which sustain their life. They and the forest are one.
A importância de nós preservar a nossa tradições.
It is important that we preserve our traditions. We want to continue to be Indians, and we don't want to lose our traditions. Our origins are very dear to us, to our Kayapo nation. We don't want to lose or forget our traditions, so we will continue to preserve and to love them.
A nossa tradição.
Payakan moved his people because outside forces were coming closer and closer. Now he feels these forces coming closer again. It's as though he can hear giant footsteps in the forest. Payakan knows what's happening to his world. He knows what's happening to his river. He knows he can't keep running. Payakan went to the mouth of the Amazon to the city of Baling. He stopped running from danger. He stopped moving deeper into the forest. He left the river to go and fight for it. He moved into a world without the colors and sounds and smells of nature. He learned the white man's language and customs and technology. He knows that nature alone is no match for the men and machines working to destroy her.
We are here for 3 days of celebration, and that celebration is a celebration of indigenous knowledge.
Others came forward to support his cause, like biologist Daryl Posey.
We have a lot of people here looking on through television and the newspapers and various other ways, that there is a very valuable richness in knowledge of the conservation and knowledge of the utilization of the resources of this planet, those resources and that knowledge being very much under threat and being lost.
To stop this loss, Payakan made a promise to his people to be their presence and their voice in the city.
Since the beginning of the world, since we the Indians began to exist, we began to love the forest, and we began to love the land. And because of this, we have learned to preserve it. And we don't want the deforestation, and we don't want the pollution, and we don't want the destruction. The reason why there are Indians in the city is because it is now necessary for Indians to protect their lands and to fight to preserve their lands. If there were no forest, there would be no Indians.
For centuries, his people were unseen and unheard, but Payakan's message is clear. We've learned about you. Now it's time for you to learn about us. At this international conference are many scientists. One is Mark Plotkin of the United States.
I come from a country which is supposed to have the most advanced agriculture in the world. 98% of our agricultural plants originated outside of our borders. Many of these originated in the tropics. Every single one of these was first learned of from indigenous peoples. In my country, people realize that the tropical forests are being cut down and species are disappearing. But the knowledge of how to use the species is disappearing much faster than the species themselves. Every time an old medicine man dies, it's as if a library has burned down.
Divulgadas através de televisão. The Kayapo, like native peoples all over the world, are being engulfed by a very rapid wave of what is called development, which occurs so quickly, and with it the destruction of the natural resources, the water and the forest and the savannas, and the native peoples. Payakan is one of those rare people who has the respect of his own people and at the same time has the respect of those people outside the Kayapo world. He's a person who is able to think not about himself, but who understands the absolute necessity of fighting now or losing forever his own people and other native peoples like his.
And Payakan did fight, not with his ancestors' weapons, but with modern technology.
The first time the white man came to invade Indian lands, it wasn't documented. The first time the white man saw the Indian, he killed the Indian. He took the Indians' lands, he took the Indians' wealth. It wasn't documented. So that's why I'm filming. Instead of the white man documenting with his own knowledge in his own way, the Indian is documenting events. The Indian is documenting what is happening to the forests and what is happening to the Indian. Our old people will die, but through these films, our tradition, our culture, will live on. There is both happiness and sadness in going home. It is good to be joining my people, but it is sad to fly over Goratire, the village where I lived as a child. Here, gold miners have moved in, and the river is full of clay and mercury. The trees have been cut down, and the air is hard to breathe. Sometimes it is so painful I ask the pilot to fly far away, so I don't have to see.
Every time he comes home, Payakan reaffirms who he is. No matter what clothing or technology or language he's adopted, Payakan's heart is here. In these faces, he sees himself. And in his face, they see their only hope. As if one man could stand between themselves and the end of the world. Morning, home again. Payakan is fighting to preserve centuries-old traditions and cultural identity, an accumulation of vast knowledge. Behind the natural body paint is the Indian's total oneness with nature. Beyond this intimacy is a story of love and spiritual connection to all living things. Payakan knows that at any moment all this may be lost.
Eu acho que outra parte do mundo.
I think that in other parts of the world they have to value us. We are preserving our situation here. Our lives, our traditions, our customs, the forests. So I think the other parts of the world have to see that we preserve life. I would like for us to live here in peace, to live without problems, without threats. That is what I would like for my people who live in the forests. In order to communicate better with the white man, I learned to speak Portuguese. And to show the white man and the Indian what is happening to the forest, I learned to make films. In this way, we are making a record to give to our children. This is a film of when we marched on the capital of Brasilia. The Indian must be there when laws are passed which affect Indians. Because of this, we have had some great victories. We stopped them from burying atomic waste in the forest. We gained rights to our land. Then the government tried to say I was no longer an Indian because I speak Portuguese. They passed laws saying this, so the Indian could speak only his language and not know what the white man was doing. We made them change these laws. Now we can learn Portuguese and know the white man's laws and know the white man's life. So we will keep fighting against their dams, against prejudice towards Indians, and against clearing and burning the forest. I want to be an Indian still, to live together with nature. So that's why I speak for my people and for the forest. The government defends destruction. I defend the forest. I defend not to destroy. My spirit is at peace with nature. I want to live together with nature.